4, the Apostle Paul declares that he's learned to be content in whatever state he's in. That can be a difficult concept when we face turmoil like is present in our world today. There is so much stress in our environment now, from financial pressures to health concerns to relational issues to political issues, that contentment doesn't seem like an appropriate response. Our circumstances call for action, and contentment seems passive, like an acceptance of things. But it's not passive. It is to be learned, it is to be practiced and sought and maintained. Paul follows up his comment on contentment by saying that he can do all things through Christ who strengthens him. That's not a passive contentment. So let's look at some things that contentment does. First, it looks up. Our first impulse when we face hard trials is to focus on the trial. What can I do to fix this? How can I pay the bills, or find a spouse, or get out of this mess that I'm in, whatever it might be. That's our first impulse, but it's not the best impulse. The best impulse would be placing our ultimate hope and confidence in someone, the only one, who is secure, solid, unshakable. The God who loves us with an everlasting love can be trusted to work things out, even difficult things, in a way that we're made better for having gone through them. Not only should we look up, but we should look in. When we look out, we run the risk of getting envious of other people's situations. They might have the better car, the better house, the better job, the better marriage, the better health. But contentment needs for us to look at our own heart and find satisfaction in the path God has for us. The Apostle Peter faced that when Jesus was telling him about what the end of his life would be like, the end of Peter's life would be like. And Peter asked Jesus, "What about John?" And essentially, Jesus said, "John has his own story. You need to focus on your story." And lastly, we should look ahead. Some people get consumed with questions of what might have been. But we can't change the past. We can change our future. And what a future we have. Because 2 Corinthians says that our light affliction, which is but for a moment, is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Our life here is short, but we have a glorious promise of spending eternity with someone who is head over heels in love with us and who just happens to be all-powerful. Contentment isn't passive because God isn't passive. So pursue after it. And as you do, you will begin to see that God is accomplishing his purposes. He is making his children more like his Son. And he's doing it through the various circumstances of your life. Love you guys.